Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 6 minutes past the hour on this third day of November. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. JD Live, your early morning get up, wake up, wake up. Family, it is Monday, first Monday of the month of November. And yes, the government is still shut down. Time to get up, wake up, wake up. Yours truly, Joe Dupree in the building from 100 BLK, the Black Station. We are broadcasting live on Facebook Live, Instagram, Twitter at the JDMS. You can catch us on YouTube at 100 BLK Media. How was your weekend? And listen, family, I need to start this out before I bring in my guy that's in the green room. We got a new contributor to the show, good brother. We're going to bring him in, introduce him. But before I do have to, on a somber note, a great man has transitioned to be with the ancestors. He was a great alpha man. He was a great traveling man. I'd like to give my condolences to the family of past Grandmaster Joseph L. Thomas, 33rd degree Mason from the Most Wishful Universal Grand Lodge, AF and AM. He has transitioned on to be with the ancestors. You will truly be missed. I will miss our conversations. I will miss your leadership. I will also miss the times that you always say, no, family, we got to address this. So my prayers and my condolences to the families, friends, brothers from Pride of Lafayette here in Lafayette, Louisiana, and all the members of the Most Wishful Universal Grand Lodge, AF, AM. Now that I got that to the side and I had to kind of get that out of me, brother was a great man. I won't tell you how he left. I will tell you how he lived. I will continue to push forward, to be an example, a shining beacon, represent you in every way I can, sir, that folks know that the things you stood for are still alive and well. All right. I got that to the side. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I see folks are jumping in here. Good morning. Share this with a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We are in the building. When I say we, like I always say about this time, I ain't never by myself. Family, put your hands together. Got a brother coming in the building. Brother Jude Mitchell.
Brother Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, brother?
And I woke up this morning. I ain't got no complaints. I made it back in from Little Rock, Arkansas. And, all was well when I left. All was well when I came back. Ain't got no complaints. How you doing this morning?
Another day, another dollar. No words, no complaints. Thank God for another day.
That's it. And a lot has been going on, of course, in the sports world. I know you are a esteemed alumnus of the Southern University. Who is now 1-7 or 1-8. However, not a good year on the bluff for the Jags. The season's not over. They still got 3 games left. They go this weekend to the reservation in Alcorn at Lorman, Mississippi, to take on the Alcorn Braves. After that, they got Texas Southern. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, is the granddaddy of them all. The classics that started all HBCU classics. It's the Bayou Classic. Down in New Orleans, Thanksgiving weekend, as the Southern University Jaguars take on the Grambling State Tigers. And listen, I kind of either, that's always a weekend when people ask me, well, man, how do you really feel? It's kind of hard. Southern cash checks, Gramblin's got a degree on the wall. Either way it goes, I never lose.
That's it. You're right about that.
Oh. So, brother, how was your weekend? And what's going on in your world? Talk to me.
Well, you know, I'm just living day by day. You know, like I said, unfortunately, I lost my wife last year. I'm raising my 8-year-old son, and like I said, you know, that was a troublesome time when that did happen. But
big ups for single dads doing it.
Yeah, you know, I'm making
doing it.
I'm maintaining. Like I said, I had a wonderful weekend. You know, I watched. I didn't watch it, but I heard the news about like I said, Adisa, the University Jaguars lost again. You know, like I said, I call it quote unquote be rebuilding, I guess. But other than that, I've been good. I played a little co-ed softball last night. We split out a doubleheader last night. Keep myself active, you know.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Let me ask you a question.
What you got?
Are you being adversely affected by this? Now, you being a single dad raising that goal, are you being affected by any way adversely by this government shutdown? That is a question.
Somewhat, but like I said, the only thing I'm disappointed about is my food stamp. You know, when I did have the food stamp, you know, I was only receiving like $23. That's it.
Wow.
You only get $23, you know, and like I said, I got a house though to deal with, and other incidentals I got to deal with. But like I said, by the grace of God, I got my circle. You know, I got my circle, and I got I got God that almost lead me the way, and my mom, of course, too.
Okay. Well, that's always a good thing. Listen, you know, I hate seeing folks being affected by this government shutdown, and folks, we got to pay attention. I say that constantly. That folk need to pay attention. They got to pay attention, because what is going on while we're not paying attention. While we're here arguing about Mardi Gras routes, while we're here arguing about frivolous things, there are folks whose lives are adversely being affected by the government shutdown, and we're not paying attention. While the government shutdown going on, seems to be they still can find money to do what they want to do when they want to do it. So you need to start asking yourself this question as you go to the poll and give your votes to these individuals to represent you. They are a living representative of you. The question I always ask is, Brother June, is the following. If they represent me, do they really know how it feels to be me?
No, I don't think some of them don't know how we feel because they've never been in our shoes. You know, I think a lot of them been spoon-fed a little bit, you know, and I feel that's why we need to watch who we gotta watch the news. We gotta watch who we vote for. We gotta make sure that we pay attention to the elections. Make sure we look at the poll, look at everything right under from top to bottom, left and right. Look at it good, because like I said, our future's in hands. You know, it's in hands, and we gotta look at that.
It's times like this, brother, and I always tell people it's times like this when you really find out who's who. You know, I know who's with me when it's good time. I know who's with me when it's all smiles. I know who's with me when everything is, as some folks would say, peachy keen. But the question is, who's with you in the hard times? Who's with you when nobody else is with you? This is the times that we as a people, especially Black and brown people, and let's make something crystal clear here. They keep putting the narrative out that the most affected people by this government shutdown and the loss of EBT benefits, SNAP benefits, let's call it what it is, SNAP benefits that are distributed on your EBT card. They say the most folks that will be affected by that is Black and brown folks. And I'm trying to figure out, is my math not math? And maybe I'm not. Listen, once again, Brother Mitchell, I see on your moniker, and big ups to the Divine Nine. Big ups to all the brothers and the sisters out there representing Greek organization, Black Greek organizations. But this is, you know, I'm a pre-K dropout. You know, my body was just in class. I literally checked out at pre-K. So I might not be the most intelligent person in the world. But if by statistics, the most people own SNAP benefits are not Black and brown folks, all of a sudden you can paint the narrative that the people who will be the most adversely affected by it is Black and brown folks. That math ain't mathing to me. If there's more white folks on SNAP benefits than Black folks, and you cut all the SNAP benefits, shouldn't the majority number be affected just as much as the minority number?
Absolutely. I believe so too. It's not just us; it's them too. And then if people don't got to realize, it's not just us. It's everybody.
I don't know why they try to make the narrative that the only people out there receiving government assistance is black folks. I just got to say it that way, my brother. It ceases to amaze me how they always try to paint the picture that the only people committing crimes are black folks. The only people on SNAP benefits is black folks. Only people doing bad things is black folks. And once again, they never celebrate when good things happen. Like, for example, here in the great city of Lafayette that I do live in, and understand, crime is high everywhere.
Absolutely.
Okay. It is on a decline in certain municipalities within the Acadianas. But if you look at the real crime statistics, and I mean, that's everything. That's everything from murders to petty theft. Crime is high everywhere. Excuse me, because criminals be about their business of breaking the law.
Exactly.
That's their business.
Exactly.
That's like you wake up every morning to go to your job, or you wake up every morning to take care of your child. Criminals, people who are bent on breaking the law, wake up every morning saying, "What law can I break today?"
But they don't. People don't realize. It's like, it's why it sticks as us as young people. I'm young. I'm a young 43. That's why I feel that we got to step up. We got to step up to make it better for our kids, because, like I said, our kids are our future. And that's why I feel as an ex-educator, I worked as far as early Head Start all the way to college life. And I look at the war today, man. It's like you said, it's cruel, but it takes for us to make that. We got like us as black folks. We got to stand up and say, hey, this is not right. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, people just don't look up and say, oh, I'm gonna go rob a bank tonight. I'm gonna go rob a bank right now. That's in them. They people think they premeditate all everything that they think about that. But that's why, as far as us as black people, as like I said, as us young black people, that's why I feel that I made a goal for myself when my wife died. I said, I told people when she passed, I said, I'm gonna make sure that my son is around positive people and doing positive things. Because, like I said, I do not want my son to be another statistic.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm gonna continue to keep him busy.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you yourself as a college grad, as a member of the Divine Nine, as a person who is literally, you have a foundation and you have a circle. You have a circle and a corner of individuals through your networking that will not only continue to make sure that your son's okay, they'll make sure that you okay. Because every once in a while, brother, we fall off the rails too. And we need somebody to grab us and say, hey, man, you all right? You good? Do you need somebody to talk to? It was funny. I was in Mississippi on my way back from Arkansas, and I stopped in a place. We had to get some fuel and take a break. And I walked in, and a lady who watches one of my podcasts knew my voice, knew my face, and said, hey, are you who I think you are? And I said, wow, I was a little bit shocked. But she brought up to me about with one of your frat brothers, I do a podcast called Wellness Wednesday, where mental health matters. And we've got to address in times like this. Understand, a lot of folks are going into the holiday on this third day of November. The government is still shut down. Not only have they lost their SNAP benefits, there are other government benefits that you might not say that you depend on the government, but there are folks out there who need what the government has already promised to provide to make their everyday lives be okay. Prime example, SNAP benefits are now gone. The states are temporarily, because the states are hoping within the next 30 days, because they can only sustain, each state at a maximum probably can sustain SNAP benefits to their constituents for maybe 90 days. They may have enough rainy day funds, no matter where your state is. They may have enough rainy day funds and tax-based saved up money that they can take that money that they had saved up for a real problem, and this is a real problem, and inject it into the system. But once again, you're not going to get what you would normally get, because once again, this is the state taking emergency funds to fund a program that they normally have absolutely nothing to do with. So that might last anywhere from 30 to 90 days maximum. So that's why understand, you might make it through November, December, January if the government still stays shut down and still get your benefits. But like you said, brother Mitchell, because you are a single dad with a child, you are, no offense, you're probably one of the brothers like a lot of us, you're the working poor. You can't do just one job. You got to hustle 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet. And you know, folks don't understand that. There are folks that literally go out there and do a 40-day work week and don't make enough money that they have to put themselves on SNAP benefits because they're making a decision between food on the table and keeping the lights on.
And I look at it, you know, once again, unfortunately, in March of 23, I got hurt on the job. And like I said, I'm receiving workman's comp. And
so
like
I said, disabled, right?
Yeah. And then I'm receiving my wife's, like you said, the government, I'm receiving my wife's survival benefit. So like I said, that's not gonna stop.
Right.
Like I said, that's why, like you said, I got a decision to keep the lights on or buy food. And like I said, first of all, you know, food is expensive these days.
Right. So look, if you are getting, let's just say you still getting SNAP. See, here's what they're not telling you. The amount of SNAP benefits. And I'm going to talk to you later, Brother Mitchell, since you're on here. I'm going to give you a call later on today. We're going to talk about how to set up your camera and everything. I'm going to help you out because next time you come on, I'm going to have you looking a little bit better than you're looking today. You look good, but I'm going to have you looking better. So we're going to keep the show rolling, though. It is 22 minutes past the hour, but I want to put this out there to y'all. Like he said, now listen to how we don't pay attention. They jump up and say, oh, we got you back. We the state, we got you. When the truth about the matter is, the reason the government is shut down, we got to put blame where blame is, because I would put it there. If the people in office right now was Barack Obama and the Senate was Democratic and the House of Representatives was Democratic and they had the majority, I would squarely be on here right now saying Barack Obama and the Democrats, what the hell wrong with y'all? Why can y'all not get this government open back up?
What's going on?
Right, hold it. Y'all doing everything else y'all want to do. Why can't y'all get the government open back up? So since I would do that if Barack and the Democrats were in office, you're damn right I'm going to do it with the Republicans in office. So wait a minute. We got a Republican president. We got a Republican-led Senate. And we got a Republican-led Congress. And how the hell you even fixing your mouth to say the problem is the Democrats?
Somebody jealous.
Hold on. You didn't need 11 votes to pass the big, beautiful bill. Hold on. So wait a minute. You need 11 votes from the Democrats to get the government back open, but you didn't need 11 votes from the Democrats to pass the big, beautiful bill. And news update, people, not only is the government shut down, right now, if you're in open enrollment to get your insurance has went up exponentially, your health insurance, because of the big, beautiful bill. Period. Those are the facts. Hold on. Anybody who wants to argue those facts, I hope you're conservative. I hope you like CK. I hope they put a statue of them at LSU and at every other university around here. I don't agree with that. I'm with Flage. I can't have a man. I can't go to an institution that's going to put a statue up to a man that could not stand me as a person. No. Here's my question. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. If the Democrats were right now completely in charge and this government was shut down, and understand, this is nothing new to conservatives. The last government shutdown we had, guess who was the president?
His name starts with Bush.
No, actually, it was Trump.
The first time, yeah. Anything about it?
I mean, the last time. I mean, hold up. Government shutdowns is nothing new to Republicans. To be exact, I'm gonna have to Google it and talk about the last 30 years of government shutdowns, or if the government was shut down, how many times and who was the president. But Trump was the last president that the government shut down. This is nothing new. This might wind up being the longest government shutdown in history. Now, let's just be real about this. A lot of us aren't paying attention. Prime example. We won't pay attention until it begins, just like everything else. Most folks don't pay attention until it starts affecting your household.
Absolutely.
Tax season is coming, family. Taxes is processed by the IRS. Your federal taxes. Your federal taxes is processed by the IRS. Your state taxes is processed by your Department of Revenue in your state. Now, understand, these federal cuts will start trickling down and start affecting state organizations. Don't worry. is coming to a city near you. So a lot of you depend on those big tax checks at tax season. Well, if there's no IRS person there to process your return,
You ain't gonna get nothing.
that part. So watch, family, watch, and you got to pay attention. Now, mind you, there are ways that we dismiss ourselves or release ourselves from the everyday stresses of life. Sports is one. So big up to the Los Angeles Dodgers for winning the World Series. I was very surprised that happened. I was rooting for Toronto. I'll be honest with you. I just wanted to see another team win. But congratulations on LA going back to back. Basketball season has started. A lot of folks are into sports. Football is in full effect on collegiate and on the professional level. Those are ways for us to get away. Nothing wrong with getting away. You don't always need to see the doom and gloom of news, because on podcasts and on the news cycle, most folks who are talking stuff that is uplifting our people, we have to give you some doom and gloom to let you know what dire straits we're in, June.
Exactly.
But right now, there are some ways to escape, and there's nothing wrong with escaping for a moment. But listen, in your escaping, still pay attention, because when you come back to life, back to reality, guess what? Things are getting worse.
Absolutely, it is, and people don't realize it. Like I said, that's why we got to wake up and smell the coffee, because, like I said, it's gonna get better before it get worse. And like I said, that's why we have to go out to vote. Any tax election coming up or potential president, we have to pay attention. Like, that's what I tell people. When I voted for the first time, I never figured like it was yesterday. I was on the news for WBRZ. I was in line, 18 years old, fresh out of high school, go and vote. And then when the things don't go their way, oh, what? No, don't get mad now because it didn't go your way. Did you go vote? No, you have nothing else to say. You have nothing to say. What can you say? What can you say?
I mean, we have to understand elections have consequences. 27 minutes past the hour. Election have consequences. There you go. That's one thing. See, June, I was going to tell you, that's what you really need to do. It looks a lot better when you do it like that. Okay, so June, we're going to get June fully acclimated here. The hashtag Truth Be Told, JD Live, your early morning, get up, wake up, 28 minutes past the hour. Family, I ask the question constantly, June, and I ask this question for a reason. It needs to be asked. Do you really feel like you're better off today than you were 4 years ago? Here's the reason I asked that question. 4 years ago, and let's call a spade, forgetful. I'm not going to call him Sleepy Joe. I'm going to call him forgetful. Old Joe was in office with President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris were in office. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm not saying this to shame anybody. I'm calling facts. Joe Biden, somebody should have really addressed his forgetfulness and his age and his feebleness much sooner. And they didn't. They tried to hide it from us. That was wrong. However, I'm still trying to recall within the 4 years of Joe Biden, President Joe Biden, and Vice President Kamala Harris, how many government shutdowns did we have?
0.
How many times? Okay, and really, if you ask yourself, and once again, y'all allowed this man to come in and bamboozle y'all, run y'all amok, hoodwink y'all by telling y'all that I'm going to make America great again with all these tariffs. Did none of you go to school and understand there are words that mean the same thing as other words that just enunciated differently? Like when you say tariff, and there is another word that means tariff. It's called a tax. A tariff is a tax. Or did everybody just sit here and nobody decided to come out with a media campaign? Because I was one of the first people back when he was running who you can roll back the tape. And I don't understand why some of you Harvard and Ivy League and major university marketing majors never decided to get with somebody and say, don't y'all know we need to inform the American people? Because it seems like they don't know that a tariff is a tax. I would have been running commercials left and right talking about, wait a minute, you talking about tariffs? A tariff is a tax. Since when is taxing the people good? Since when is more taxes good for the people? Now, I can understand if we have taxes on the books that are doing certain things, but most folks can never win on saying that I'm going to raise your taxes. I have very seldom seen any politician run on, I'm going to raise your taxes and win.
You're right.
Donald Trump. Except Donald Trump literally looked y'all in the face and told y'all, man, I can go to the middle of New York City and shoot somebody in the face and get away with it. And guess what? He proved it. He proved it. Donald Trump, listen, if I was right now a felon, a convicted felon, I would be sitting around going, you know, I could be the president of the United States of America. He proved it. He proved that being a felon does not stop you from getting the highest seat in the country.
But you got to think about it. Like I said, like you said before, just say, for example, our boy Barack Obama. Say he had that going on with him. Just say he had all them accounts. He did all that. You think you'll let him run for president again? No. They'd be getting ready to impeach him.
Brother, you can't have one felony account and work for McDonald's. You can't be a felon and work for McDonald's.
Nope, you can't.
You know, so hold on. Let me understand this. You can't flip a burger and be a felon, but you can run the most powerful nation in the world and be a felon. You can't put your hands on you can't put your hands on McNuggets to serve them. You can't put your hands if you're a felon, but you can hold the nuclear football if you're a felon. Come on, family. We've got to wake up. And that's why I'm telling y'all to wake up. Now, I'm not trying to bash nobody, because let me say this. In the Obama years, there was legislation that Obama stood by and passed that I did not agree with. Let me get that out. Let me get that out right now. I did not agree with everything that Barack Obama did. However, in 8 years of Barack Obama, I had no scandals in the White House.
Nope.
I had no porn stars coming out talking about I can tell you how the man penis looked because I slept with him.
Mm-hmm.
I had no government shutdowns.
Nope, none.
And y'all sitting around here talking about Obama messed this country up. How? Wait a minute.
Because the thing about it, you can go like I said with COVID. The thing about it is, he knew about COVID, but what he did, he held it to himself. And then with COVID, he told you to go do some with the Clorox and stuff. Now, if you stupid enough to go try that, you smart. You're real dumb for going to do that.
I mean,
like I said, we had it. I'm gonna be honest with my wife, rest of soul, my son, and myself. We all had it. But like I said, it's how you prepare yourself. So, like I said, when this man knew we had COVID, why you didn't tell nobody nothing? You held it on for so long. Now go get vaccinated.
I mean, it is 34 minutes past the hour. And family, I got to start paying attention. The government is still shut down. All right, everybody, SNAP's benefits have already been affected, but what else will be affected? Head Start is going to start to be affected. Yes, Head Start is going to start to be affected.
You got to realize, like I said, that's bad. It's and people got to realize, like I said, they got to wake up. And I worked in that sector on all levels. I worked as a teacher. I worked as an early Head Start teacher. I worked in the office. And like I said, you got to realize, you want to cut that, okay? But you got to realize, okay, where are babies from 6 weeks to 3.5? Where they gonna go?
Okay, hold on. Watch this. Now, since folk always talk about school of choice and charter schools, a lot of that is federally funded. The building of a lot of these charter schools are federally funded. Guess what, family? That funding may come to a bleak close. See, a lot of folks don't pay attention. Pell Grants. If you've ever went to college, you know this word, Pell Grants.
Yes.
Pell Grants are federally, governmentally funded. Guess what? If there's no government that can process your Pell Grant application,
you can't go to school.
You ain't gonna get that money.
You can't get that too. You can't get nothing.
Right. So everybody sitting here talking about food stamps and EBT cards. My man just told you. Okay, hold on. Dude, I don't like putting people's business out there, and this is only if you want to disclose it. I know you did disclose a dollar amount early. Is that a monthly dollar amount or is that a weekly dollar amount that you disclosed?
That is a monthly allowance that I get.
Okay, so hold on. Was this before the shutdown or after the shutdown?
Before.
Okay, before the shutdown, this brother who is right now dealing with a workman's comp situation, he was working, he got hurt on work. So listen, we've all been there. Listen, I had a ruptured Achilles in February of this year. So I know that feeling. So this man is dealing with trying to bounce back, get back into the regular work cycle. He's got a temporary situation that is keeping him out of the work cycle. He's dealing with workman's comp and he's getting SNAP benefits because of course, they break it down by income bracket. He's still getting, now listen, $25 a month. How much did you say it was? Was it 25, sir?
$23.
Okay. I want somebody to tell me at what grocery store can you do something productive that can feed your family for a month for $23? I need to know. I need to know what grocery store has it that I get $23 worth of benefits that I can go buy enough to feed my family for 1 month. $23 ain't no money, family. Is no money. So while you over here and we talking about people losing benefits, if the benefits is only $23, come on, family. Come on. That's why y'all not paying attention. Now understand, probably this man being a single father, and once again, I gotta just ring the bell for you, Brother Mitchell, because there are so many black and brown men that are always being accused of not being real fathers, real men. I give you the crown of a real father, real man. Unfortunate circumstances led you to a place that your wife went to glory and you kept being a father to your son. That I have to applaud you for that, because you know, and you're doing it by yourself. You didn't go get a replacement mom. Nah, it's you and your son. And at the moment, it's you and your son getting it in. So I respect that, man. I respect how you are still trying to usher him into manhood, and you playing both roles, because many a time we don't talk about how men sometimes have to play the role of the mama and the daddy. We always talk about how women have to play the role of the daddy and the mama, but we don't talk about how men have to play the role of the daddy and the mama. Oh, okay. Oh, we really don't want to go there early.
They ain't gonna say it, because the thing about it is like, hey, I tell you what, like I said, by the grace of God, first thing, and like I said, support system. You gotta have that. And that's why I said before, at the end of the day, that was my number one goal. I said, when she passed away, and I told my son this, I said, Carter, it's just you and us. And like I said, I said, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that he does positive things around positive people and doing positive things, because like I said, I do not want him to be another statistic. And like I said, and there's very few, especially where I'm from, where I live in New Iberia. And as like I said, that's why I feel that I got to stand up and say, you know what? I got to do this. I got to do this.
Speaking of New Iberia, 39 minutes past the hour, and on another subject, big ups to Verge Osbury.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Being the interim athletic director at LSU. And listen, Verge was always the assistant athletic director, had been at LSU, played football for LSU. He is a New Iberia native, and it's always good seeing black and brown folks in powerful positions. I'm of the mindset, and no offense to however anyone else's opinion is, there are some things, and I say that on all levels, there are some things that people in government should keep their nose out of. First of all, just like I don't think a coach, unless he's studied political science, understands community service, and somewhat knows how the community operates. Now, there are anomalies out there, but most coaches don't know too much about politics. So guess what? I don't think most coaches make good politicians, though Tupperfield has tried to prove me wrong in the great state of Alabama. However, most politicians don't know flip about football or basketball or baseball or soccer or any sports, except they get the privilege to sit in nice skyboxes and watch them. Continue to watch and let the coach do the coaching. When you start putting politicians into sports from a position of we're going to try to call the X and O's, we know how that look if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, which I am not. But we know how it feels when you got a Jerry Jones always running on the field trying to tell you what play to run. You wind up not seeing a Super Bowl since the last time a coach told him stay your ass in that skybox.
And I've been a Cowboys fan for years, and like you said, I hate to say it like this. I tell people all the time, I said all he needs to do is sit down what I'm doing right now and just stand the checks and relax and let everything fall into place.
How a person listen, June. I ain't gonna hire a man who has a degree in accounting if I need a brain surgeon. If I need a brain surgeon, I'm not going to get a guy with a PhD in accounting and say, aren't you a doctor of accounting? Can you come and operate on my head? No, I'm going to find a person who is a medical doctor in that profession, and I'm going to try to get the best one that money can buy if I have an ailment that needs to be severely dealt with right then and there.
But you got the money. You got the money. The thing about it is you're not broke. You're not broke. You got money. You got the best. You got the number one. You're number one in Forbes. So, like I said, what you holding on money for? For what? Like you said, he's the only man that I know, win, lose, or draw. Like I said, you on the field, you this, you that. You man, let me tell you something. Just sit down and stamp the checks. Let your sons run the team. Like I said, I've been a Cowboys fan for 32 years. Like you said, the last time they won the ship, I was in 8th grade.
Listen, I'm sorry. I have to bring in one of your fellow Cowboy fans in here, and I want y'all. I'm gonna have to call for team. It's time like this. I wish I could call for team and tell for team. I need you on right now. Because the truth about the matter is, I got another Cowboy fan in here, and I can't stand y'all Cowboys. I cannot stand. I'm telling you. I cannot stand the Cowboys. I am ABC. Anybody but the Cowboys. I am a Cowboy hater. I'm worse than Stephen A. Stephen A. I make Stephen
A in the class by himself.
I make Stephen A. look like a Cowboy lover because I can't stand the Cowboys. Come here. And you know why? Because in my house.
That's my brother's team.
Wait a minute. It's only black and yellow. Because that's what we do. Now,
hey, that's my brother's team.
Mind you, my significant other happens to be a black and gold fan. She's all right. I'm trying to find her a paper bag right now to put on her face. But I ain't gonna go.
They I don't know what you call that. Man.
I'm not gonna say too much because folks in New Orleans that have already promised me some good gumbo for Bayou Classic that I don't need them to spike my gumbo and say, talk about my Saints again. So with that being said, it is about 15 minutes to the hour. Family, it is November. Now we start making it into the holiday season. Start really asking yourself the following question, and this is what I will do. This is only my suggestion. I'm not here to tell you what to do, how to do it. I'm not here to tell you what to think or how to think, but do something and begin to use that thing between your ears and behind your eyes. If you know, and don't worry, everybody, including I'm struggling, but I'm not struggling enough that I can't go to my closet and say, I got about 4 suits in here, and that's why I need to get in touch with another one of your frat brothers. Judge Royal Colbert. I'm gonna call I just finished talking to him, but I'm gonna call him again this week. I got 4 suits in my closet that I know I can't wear, won't wear. I'm gonna go and donate them 4 suits to him to help somebody who needs a suit, who maybe has a court date coming up, that has been incarcerated, don't have no family looking out for them. Guess what? Sometimes you just need to find somebody that you can just do the following. You ain't got to put no money in their hand, because I ain't one of those guys, fake it till you make it. I'm the type person, I'm going to speak it until I see it. And guess what? Sometimes, and not to get on the church, because it's times like this that entity called the church, that non-regulated entity called the church, who ain't paying taxes on anything, should have a storehouse to help at least Black and brown folks during a time like this government shutdown. That's why I applaud Pastor Jamal Bryant. I give him big ups that he said, I'm not collecting no tithes, no offering. We're going to, if we do collect, we're going to give it directly to those who have been affected by this government shutdown. That's what you got to start doing, family. You got to find folks who say, guess what? We understand we have a business to run, but we have enough surplus in our business that we can, in times like this, stop building up. See, because a lot of y'all don't know, a lot of these big churches, all they're doing is really going from check to check. They one check away from filing bankruptcy. Now, I'm not trying to talk bad about the church. I didn't say all churches. I say some churches. And listen, I personally can't rock with folks who tell me pray to God when I need help, but when they need help, they coming to me. Don't we pray to the same God? Maybe when you need help.
Yeah.
Maybe when you need help, instead of saying we need to take up 5 offerings today, you need to do the same thing you tell me if I call you and tell you that my lights are going off. Most big churches, if you tell them my lights are going off, guess what they tell you? Let me tell you some programs they got, some government programs they got out there to help you. Let me tell you this, but they never say we're going to cut the check. They tell you pray to God. They tell you about some programs, but when they need a financial miracle, they not praying to God. Guess what they saying? Today, family, I sense in my spirit that somebody in this church, God has directed me to tell you this is the seed you need to sow today. Come on, fam. Hold on. I digress. 13 minutes past the hour. June, welcome, yes, man. Welcome.
Yes,
we're gonna have a conversation, brother, and love seeing that you own. We're gonna have, we have a whole smorgasbord of folks that come on here. Family, if you too would like to come on the show, all I am is a message or a phone call away. June can tell you this. June literally just asked me, hey man, I would like to come on. Can I come on? Family, and I am happy to, as I drive down this journey of information, inspiration, motivation, conversation that promotes elevation, you're welcome to get on board. Come on board, get on the train, because the train is always early in the morning at 6 o'clock to 7 a.m. Central Time, which is I think that's 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern Time. We always rolling down these tracks, man, having discussions that hopefully will motivate you to have a better day, to do better, and to be better. So, June, welcome aboard, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, brother June.
So it's 12 minutes to the top of the hour. How did your Cowboys play tonight, don't they?
Yes, sir.
Against the Cardinals, right?
Yes, sir.
Are y'all playing in Dallas, or are y'all playing in out there in Cardinal land?
We playing in Jerry World.
Are y'all gonna win?
I believe so. We will.
See, that's a real Cowboy fan. Win, lose, or draw. I always say we're gonna win. I did not think the Steelers were gonna win yesterday. I'll be honest with you. But they did what they always do. When I think they're gonna win, they lose. And when I think they're gonna lose, they win. But I won't say it to you like I say to everybody else, because Aaron Rodgers needs a good retirement present. Just like Peyton Manning got his retirement present. And I believe all these sports are rigged anyway. Because there's no way. Listen, I literally don't bet on too much of anything. But I really thought that Toronto was going to win that World Series.
Yep, I thought so too. Like I said,
and how do you let Los Angeles come to your house and win 2 games back to back?
And you see, the thing about it, I'm not a Dodger or a Toronto fan. I'm a diehard Atlanta Braves fan.
Okay.
And like I said, my grandfather, rest his soul, he was a Dodger fan. So, and then, you got to realize too, we have a brother that's co-owner of the Dodgers. So, so you got to realize.
Magic. Yes, sir. Hold up. Wait a minute. The Dodgers have always been very pro us ever since the Brooklyn Dodgers. Cause you got to understand, the first person, hold on, this man right here.
Jackie Robb.
Hold on. Hey, Hey, this man right that said, hey, Dodgers when they were
Yeah.
Brooklyn. Come on now.
And I
Come on.
watched the movie. Hey, I watched the movie. Hey, he went through some trenches. He went through a lot.
42, baby. 42.
He went through a lot to get where he at, because man, he went through the world, man. He went through a lot. When I watched them, I said, wow. I knew the history, but I didn't know it was that bad. I said, man, but you know what? He made it.
Okay, so family, it is 10 minutes to the top of the hour. It is a Monday. It is another Monday. I got to get it started. Another work week for me. For those of you who are following HBCU football, especially SWAC football, it's getting interesting. The West is the wild, wild West. The beast of the East is two beasts in the East, and they're going to stay that way. And it's got people saying, look, we need to cut this division stuff out, and we literally need the two best teams in the SWAC to be the one going at it for the SWAC championship. I do agree with that. Because right now, the two best teams in the SWAC are both in the same division. That is the Jackson State Tigers, and that is the Alabama State Hornets. Those, to me, are the two best teams in the SWAC. Now, I am going to say the following. Prairie View is very good this year. And they seem to be the beast out the East. Seems to be, no matter what happens, I believe they have literally, if with a few more wins, they'll probably grab the Eastern crown. So it'll be Prairie View versus either Jackson or Alabama State. Southern, there's Southern. And Grambling. Because Grambling all of a sudden is waking up. Grambling is back on the move. Southern, everybody has a bad season. This will probably go down as the worst season in Southern University football history.
Yeah, and it's bad to say that. And as an alum, it's like,
so
wow.
As a person who is a part of the Jaguar Nation, Brother Mitchell, I'll say to you what I say to every Jaguar I know. What y'all gonna do about it? Because once again, don't cut off your nose to spite your face. And I say that because I remember how many Southernites I have not a dog in the hunt. I didn't go to Jackson State University. I'm a proud Gramblinite. But I will say the following. Grambling had a blueprint. It was Coach Eddie Robb. Coach Eddie Robb had an Achilles heel. His name was Coach Pete Richardson, because Pete always whooped Eddie Robb. However, let's go back to this Deion Sanders. I ain't got a problem, because guess what Southern literally did? Southern said, let us find somebody who will be our Eddie Robb. And they found Pete Richardson. Southern's got to jump up and say, we got to find somebody who's going to do the same thing for the Southern University that Deion did for the Jackson State. Because you can like it, leave it, or love it. Southern would right now be basking in ambience if they had 2 seasons that they went undefeated in the SWAC, period. And you can't tell me a Southern fan that wouldn't be sitting around talking more stuff than a Japanese radio made in Spain if Southern right now had 2 years that they beat everybody in the SWAC and went undefeated.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
So, once again, just like I don't need Jeff Landry in LSU football, I don't need folks at Southern or any HBCU that knows absolutely nothing about football to be having their nose in football, trying to direct folks in football. Just find the right folks and be able to do what you always do. Cut the checks for football.
Mm-hmm.
I said what I said. It is 6 minutes. 6 minutes to the top of the hour. June, it's time for us to get up out of here, man. About this time, let me tell you what I do so you'll get used to it. About this time, if you've been watching, I'm sure you have, I put you on by yourself and you get the chance to tell the people some things you want to say or some closing remarks, and we get ready to get up out of here, brother. So the mic is yours. The video is yours. Give us some closing remarks and let's get up out of here.
Well, like I said, folks, like Brother George Priest said, we need to wake up and pay attention. Because like I said, we got some times coming, but always keep Christ first in your life, because he's always in control.
Amen. That's what I'm talking about. That was good closing words. Listen, y'all put your hands together. Brother June Mitchell going to be joining us. Part of the look, and if you want to get on the train, because the train be rolling every morning. Listen, just send me a message. Ask me, hey, I'm not here trying to monopolize what we're talking about. If you want to come on and you want to talk, you want to be a part of this, you feel like what you bring can contribute to the greater good of all of us, because guess what? We all need to be able to have a space we can talk, a space that we can discuss what's going on. You matter. Not only your mental health, but you physically. Your voice matters. And I have created this platform for just that. Anybody who wants to come on is welcome to come on. I ain't got to agree with you, but you're welcome to come on and to air out what you want to talk about, and we can have some good conversational banter about where you stand, where I stand, where we as a people, in my opinion, stand, and where we need to go. It's not so much where we at. I'm talking about where we're trying to get to. With that being said, let me get ready to get up out of here, family. And I simply say it as I always say it: be better today on this Monday, first Monday of the new month of November. Be better today than you were yesterday. And do something today to be a blessing to somebody, somewhere, that no matter who they are and no matter what you do, there's no earthly way they could ever pay you back, because you gave it not wanting to click like a share. You gave it not asking for them to tell the world that you did it. You gave it freely from your heart, wanting them to be a better human being. And always remember, this is very important. And I think sometimes I say it so much that folks just hear it and it goes in it. But listen to me. Know that there is no secret what God can do, what he has done for others. When folks had all the money in the world, but they needed the healing in the hospital, and the doctors had given up on them. All the money in the world can't buy your healing, especially if you've been diagnosed with something that they don't have a cure for. Guess what? Them folks walked out that hospital still here. May not have been in the manner, but they were still here, still breathing, still able to enjoy life. Some fully recovered. When the doctor said, nah, you ain't gonna make it past this day, they walked out that hospital A-okay. There are some financial situations a bank can't bail you out of. You done put yourself in a situation where there's nobody who will give you a loan. There's nobody who will take care of you. There's nobody who will get you out of these financial circumstances. But out the blue, somehow, some way, somebody got touched in their heart and said, I'll take care of that for you. That's why I say what I say, and I say it with such fervor, because I know. Listen, I'm still that kid. I'm still that newborn baby that was wrapped in a newspaper and an old coat and discarded underneath an old dilapidated house in Memphis, Tennessee, where I was found 14 hours later, still breathing. No prenatal slap on the butt and crying and folks looking, going, ooh, look at the cute baby. No, I stayed 14 hours underneath a house. That was my day one. So I can say this because I got a testimony and I got proof from my own life what he can do. There is no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, he will and he can do. For when God is with you, nothing, no one stand against you. Y'all be blessed. Have a great day. Make this first Monday be the best Monday. Continue to do great things, not only for yourself, but for others. And we'll be back tomorrow for Testify Tuesday. Y'all be blessed. Have a great day. We up out of here. Peace.